Hello YouTube, my name is Joseph. Welcome back and thank you so much for tuning in to the Popsicle Night channel. Please don't forget to click the like button if you enjoyed this video and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell and feel free to share this content. If you haven't noticed already, while other players focus on the more competitive aspect of the Pokemon trading card game, I'll be focusing more on enjoying the creative aspect of how each Pokemon card is designed. To increase the fun aspect and replayability of this game, I've been challenging myself to use even the seemingly useless Pokemon and build a deck around it. Or at least figure out what each card can be used for in a deck. With that said, in today's video, we'll be showcasing one of the Pokemon cards that came with the Darkness Ablaze set, Ampharos. Ampharos is a stage 2 Pokemon with 150 HP and it has two awesome attacks. The first one is Dazzle Blast, which does 50 damage. And it also confuses your opponent's active Pokemon. And his second attack is Electric Ball, which does a fair 130 damage. It might seem like it's on the lower side, but it only costs 2 lightning energy, so really, it's a cheap way to deal a good amount of damage. However, with 150 HP, this Pokemon's survivability is a bit on the low side. It's also weak against fighting, so this can easily get knocked out. And so I've decided to focus mainly on its Dazzle Blast attack, which confuses your opponent, giving them only a 50% chance of succeeding in their attack. Think of this as the Baby Dragapult, where your opponent has to flip a coin to successfully make a hit. However, Dragapult can still be affected by an effect of an attack. But with Ampharos, if your opponent is confused, the attack does not happen at all if they get tails on the coin flip, and it will even do 30 damage to itself. But whether your opponent succeeds in attacking, it's okay, since this Pokemon gives up only one prize card. And so I have a 4-3-4 line for Ampharos in this deck. This will be our only main attacker. Pretty daring, right? Yeah. So I've spent some time thinking about how to utilize Ampharos' attack, and what was most consistent for me was using Cradily. From the Sun and Moon Cosmic Eclipse set, I have a 2-2 line of this Cradily in this deck. This has the ability Swing Strangle, which prevents your opponent's Pokemon with special conditions from retreating. So Cradily in combination with Ampharos Confusion, you will prevent your opponent from retreating, while Ampharos will deal 130 damage in the following turns until you knock out your opponent. I've also included Omastar in this deck. It has the ability Fossil Bind, where if you have less Pokemon in play than your opponent, you will inflict item lock on your opponent. So they won't be able to use their switch to get their Pokemon out of the active. They'll really be trapped. So I have a 1-1 line for Omastar. But because Omastar and Cradily are evolved from the unidentified fossil, we will be using the Pokemon Research Lab to get them in play. Without using the unidentified fossil, you can put 2 stage 1s on the bench right away, but you end your turn. So ideally, you would want to play this card on your first or second turn if possible. And I also have one unidentified fossil in this deck, just in case our research lab is priced. I only have one because really, Cradily is the only one that plays a crucial part in this deck, but having Omastar is a plus. As for the rest of the deck, I have 2 Jirachis for consistency with its Stellar Wish ability. I also have 1 Mew for its ability Bench Barrier, which prevents damage done to your benched Pokemon. I have 2 Evolution Incense in this deck. I have 1 Ordinary Rod, 3 Quick Balls, 2 Rare Candy, 3 Switch, and I have 3 Yell Horns. I thought it fitting, since we're using Ampharos with its Confusion, this item card confuses both yours and your opponent's active Pokemon. This card fits in perfectly in this deck, especially if you don't have an Ampharos setup yet, but you have a Cradily on your bench. You're basically initiating your strategy at this point. This is also nice against fire decks, because if you use this on your first turn, you might just prevent your opponent from using Volcanion's attack that provides energy. Just saying. And here's a little tip with this card. You know how after using Stellar Wish with Jirachi? Well, once Jirachi falls asleep, you won't be able to retreat it, but Did you know if you use Yell Horn, Jirachi gets confused, and with 1 retreat cost, you can retreat Jirachi. Maybe if you have another Jirachi, you can use the other Jirachi just by retreating. And that's my tip of the day. But I was really glad to have found a really good use for this new item card that came with the Darkness Ablaze set as well. And that's the Yell Horn. So I have 3 of those in this deck. Moving on, we have 3 Bird Keeper, 2 Boss's Order, 2 Marnies, 1 Pokemon Breeder's Nurturing, 2 Skylas, 1 Sonia. And then as for the energy, I have 1 Capture Energy, 4 Speed Energy, and 8 Lightning Energy. Okay, so you might be thinking, yeah, confusing your opponent is fine, but they can just switch out and attack with a different Pokemon. That's true. However, you will at least be exhausting your opponent's resources to switch their Pokemon in and out of the active, either by discarding the energy attached to their Pokemon or using up their switch, Malolana and Bird Keeper and whatever else they have. Unless they have 4 of each of these cards in their deck, then yeah, you'll absolutely lose that game. And also the strategy for this deck I'm about to show you becomes very limited if your opponent has a Pokemon Center Lady, which heals their confusion. Also, if your opponent has Galarian Rapidash in their deck, the Rebel Clash Galarian Mr. Rhyme, which has the Screen Cleaner ability, Cobalion GX for metal decks, and other cards like these that prevent special conditions. But you don't see that often anymore, but there's also ways around it. But for the most part, you're gonna have a hard time dealing with those types of decks. Unfortunately, relying on Ampharos attack alone will not win you games against top tier decks, but you should do fine on most games. Keep in mind that this is just one of many variations you can use this strategy. You can absolutely substitute for other Pokemon who can attack while your opponent is incapacitated with confusion. And so that's my deck for Ampharos. I really had fun playing this deck. I had so many matches where my opponent just quits on the first turn or 2 because they couldn't move. It was just really funny. But enough talk, let's take a look at some gameplay. Alright, so in this match, looks like our opponent is going to be using Eternatus because they have that ginormous coin. Well, let's see how we fare against this one. Alright, we're gonna mulligan this one. We have a Mareep. It's gonna be in the active for the meantime. Alright, well, it's definitely a dark deck. So they have Darkrai on their active and a Grimer on their bench. Okay, so they just attach 1 energy and they'll pass. Alright, so we'll evolve into Flaaffy and we're gonna use Sonia. Get a Mareep and a Jirachi. We're gonna retreat into Jirachi and use Stellar Wish. We have a Sonia, or sorry, a Skyla. And we're just gonna end our turn here because we already used Sonia, so we can't use anymore. But I'm definitely thinking of using Skyla to get the research lab right away, so we can get our stage 1s for Cradily and Omastar if possible. That way we can start getting our strategy going. We have a Yell Horn, so we can definitely confuse both Jirachi and Darkrai, which prevents them from retreating. But for now, let's Stellar Wish. The only thing we got is a switch. And we can evolve into Ampharos. And let's go ahead and use Skyla. Hopefully we have a research lab here. We do not. Looks like our research lab is priced, so the only thing we have is an unidentified fossil, so we're gonna have to play that. Again, Cradily is the only the only Pokemon that's needed here. So if we can get a rare candy, but that'd be really nice. We can just evolve it into Cradily right away without having to use that Evolution Incense to get its stage 1. But that's alright. One way or another, our opponent is confused, so he won't be able to attack. It's the only one with the energy. We should be okay. But now, their evolved Muck, I guess, can triple poison us, do really damage to our Jirachi. Okay, so they have Malamar V. Then they do poison our Jirachi. Okay, so let's get an Evo Incense. Let's just get a Lileep here. Evolve our unidentified fossil. We're gonna Stellar Wish, and let's get Marnie. And should we confuse Muck or use Marnie? I'm thinking, cause I don't want to lose Cradily and then we're gonna have to find it again. So I'm not sure. Yeah, let's just Yell Horn. At least they won't be able to attack. Even if they retreat and we lose our Jirachi, we can Marnie in the next turn, and then hopefully we get an energy for our Ampharos, and we can confuse it anyways, and then they won't be able to retreat. So that's gonna be our game plan. Alright, so they attach a 3 energy on this Darkrai. It'll be able to attack for 120 with the 3 dark energy attached to it. So they have a Garbodor. If they evolve into Garbodor, they're definitely gonna be poisoning our Pokemon along the line. So you just gotta watch out for that. So for now, let's get our Ampharos into our active. And again, we're gonna evolve into Cradily. And let's just use that and get rid of the switch. Get another Mareep, so we can get these Ampharos line going, since they are using V and VMAX. So it's good we got a speed energy. So we got another energy. And we can get another Ampharos actually using this Evo Incense. And so we have 2 Ampharos set up. We have a switch, so we can switch it out whenever we want. We have another energy for the other one, and another Mareep already on the bench. So let's confuse this Darkrai, and we can just attach another energy and start hitting it for 130 or 100, less 30 because of its ability. So now their opponent can't retreat. Our opponent can't retreat. And so they're gonna have to decide whether or not to attack with this Darkrai or just pass. Unless they have any switch cards, they are gonna use Sonia. Oh, there's the Eternatus and a Sneasel. Okay. So we gotta watch out for that. Definitely, very strong Pokemon, can easily knock ours very easily. So once they set that up, that'll be it. But we'll see. Let's see how this goes. All right. So Darkrai attempts to attack, but doesn't work, and it does 30 damage to itself. So we're just gonna equip Ampharos, or attach speed energy on it. We do get a boss's order from that, and we have a Yell Horn, which is really good on our hand, a switch, and a quick ball. We have Omastar as well, which we can use that, especially if they use their Eternatus. They're definitely gonna have more Pokemon than we do, so we can item lock them that way. But for now, let's stall for a little bit. and just wait for that Eternatus V to evolve. Hopefully. Okay, good. Yeah, because I didn't wanna switch it out using boss order, and then they'll just evolve, and then they're not gonna get confused. So I was waiting for that. So that's okay. They were able to hit for 120, but yes, we bosses ordered this Eternatus V and confuse it right away. Now it won't be able to escape. But I'm just so glad that Ampharos survived that attack from Darkrai, but not to this Eternatus VMAX. So that's one of the things with this confusion. Again, it's a 50% chance success to our opponent. And we're just gonna electric ball this one, doing 130 damage, which now they have 180 on their Eternatus VMAX. So we're just gonna keep hitting this and hope for the best. Hopefully, even if they attack, they're just gonna get tails, and we're just gonna keep hitting it. But that's okay. We have a rare candy. We just gotta find the evolution for another Ampharos and be able to evolve one. So our opponent tries to attempt, but at 210, I think. Yeah. So let's just rare candy one. So we have another Ampharos ready. Yeah, they'll knock out their Eternatus VMAX. Not too bad for a one pricer, huh? Knocking out this Eternatus VMAX. Pretty good. And guess what? They have to discard a card from their bench because Eternatus ability no longer applies. So they discard the Darkrai. We get another boss's order from our prize, a lightning energy, and a bird keeper, which is really nice. So we're just gonna keep going with this. We're just gonna keep going with this. Okay, that's good. That's good that they got Malamar. Ooh, they have a full-on V. They got the strongest Vs in this deck that they have. But no, they're gonna have a Tyranitar, I guess. Alright, so our opponent's gonna use Drag off, and they're gonna try and knock out our Cradily, but that's alright. We'll just switch it back. We're gonna confuse it. But first, we're gonna attach one energy on the other Ampharos. Alright, so now, unless they evolve this one, we should still be okay, because we have another Ampharos ready. We just confuse it again, even if Malamar evolves into VMAX. So maybe our opponent will be using Pierce to get a VMAX? No. They're gonna use it to get a Weavile GX. So now they can switch their energies around however they want. But yeah, we're gonna have to use boss's order wisely, because we only have one. This is our only boss's order left, and we still have 3 prize cards to get. I'm just so happy that our opponent here is he's a good player in a sense that he doesn't just gives up. I've seen a lot of Eternatus VMAX players who once one Eternatus VMAX dies or knocks out, they'll just quit right away. But this one, my hats off to Trainer Rings for staying in this game. So we have another Ampharos ready on our bench. We have 3 Ampharos ready to go. We'll attach an energy on that one, and we'll just get rid of Omastar, because right now we don't really need that. We're rolling here, and we're just gonna Electro Ball this Malamar V, and we could just knock it out in our next turn, giving us 2 more prize cards. So we're just gonna wait for our opponent to see what they're gonna do. So Cradily has 60 damage right now. It has 150 HP, so it still has a lot of life in it, which is pretty good. Okay, they're transferring the energy to Tyranitar. But Spinning Tail only does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, but we have Mew, which is good. So that's really not gonna do any good for our opponent. So since we already have a reserve, let's just go ahead and knock this Malamar V out, and that gives us 2 prize cards. There's our Pokemon Lab, Research Lab, which we don't need anymore. And then they're just gonna put Tyranitar in the active. So we're just gonna confuse this one, again preventing them from attacking and from retreating, and we're just gonna knock it out in due time. Confusion. Yeah, and we could even Boss's Order that one on the bench there and just knock it out. But that's okay, we can knock out this Tyranitar. That will win us the game. Or if our opponent just gives up. So that's pretty good. Very good show. Ampharos against Eternatus VMAX. Not too bad, guys. Not too bad. Alright, so in this next game, we got Vikavolt 77. We seem to be using a fire deck here. Not sure what type of fire deck they have, but for our active, we're gonna use Mareep. Our opponent's gonna mulligan. Okay, no indication of what they're using out of this hand. Yes, we'd like extra cards, please. Nice. We have another Mareep on our bench. And this is a good chance, actually, to use our Yell Horn and get this Volcanion. So even if they have an energy and another Pokemon and their bench, hopefully they won't be able to use their Flare Starter to get those energies onto their Pokemon. They're going to use Green's Exploration. You're gonna get a Quick Ball and a Giant Hearth. Okay, they're using the Giant Hearth to get 2 energies. They're using the Quick Ball. A Centiskorch VMAX deck. Wow. And a Big Charm. Alright, so our opponent fails. Okay, so our opponent just gives up. Unfortunately, we weren't able to show that one with the Centiskorch VMAX, but they just give up. Great. Yell Horn, guys. Really nice card to disrupt your opponent. So let's move on to this next one. Cyber Birdie 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we win this coin flip. We want to go first. And nice, we have a Jirachi. That's going to go right in the active. We can start looking for our trainer cards. Done. Okay, so we got a Charizard Braixen GX. We got Birdkeeper, Yell Horn, and an Evolution Incense. We got an Yell Horn already, but Birdkeeper? Yeah, we'll just get a Yell Horn. We can start confusing this one, even if they have a welder or whatever that energizes this tag team. Again, they'll have a 50% chance of successfully hitting us. And then even if they do that, they switch out or something like that, we have another Yell Horn to confuse them. So right now we gotta get this Cradily set up. That way we can start locking it locking our opponent's Pokemon in their active. Especially those 3 prize card Pokemon is really good to lock in the front. That way we can win faster using Ampharos attack, even though it deals only 130. After a few turns, it's gonna knock out our opponent. So our opponent has a lot of Heatran GX on their bench, so that kind of worries me a little bit. They can just switch it into the tag team and be able to get all the energy attached to it and just knock out our opponent, knock out our active. But yeah, we were just gonna Marnie because we couldn't really play anything on that hand. But we'll use this capture energy to get a Mareep ready. We're gonna switch out to the other Jirachi and use the other Stellar Wish. We got a Bird Keeper. And we're just gonna pass. That's pretty much all we can do for now. So with 2 Jirachis, I'm hoping that we can find the research lab right away, so we can set up the Cradily. And so we can Stellar Wish, use this Bird Keeper to switch out into the other Jirachi. And hopefully we find it. Right now we have an Evo Incense, which helps out, and we can use that to evolve our Mareep into Flaaffy. It has 2 A's, so it should be like a sheep. Flaaffy, Flaaffy. Alright, so let's switch out into Jirachi. We got 2 more Mareeps. We'll just put 1 on the bench for now. Oh sweet, we got the Pokemon Research Lab. We're definitely going to use that this turn, and we have both their evolution on our hand, which is really nice. So even if they knock out this Jirachi, we're going to have the upper hand because we'll have Omastar and Cradily in play. And we just got to get the evolution for Flaaffy here, which but they pass, which is good. Let's Stellar Wish first. Let's just get this unidentified fossil. That's all we can get right now. And let's just start evolving. Let's evolve into Cradily, Omastar. So now they can't retreat unless they have a switch or whatever. So that's good. We got a Ampharos by means of the Bird Keeper. We got another Ampharos, a Stellar Wish, a rare candy, which is really good. So we'll just use that. So we'll have 2 Ampharos on our bench ready to go. So we'll just evolve this one. So now we have 2 Ampharos on our bench. We have a switch. We can switch out into Ampharos actually and start attacking with Electric Ball. 130 damage. So we'll just wait and see if they attach an energy on this Charizard Braixen tag team, and if they succeed, that will knock out our Ampharos, which it does. Oh man. Good thing for us, we have a Sonia. We'll just get an energy, and even if we hit for 50, we can start hitting with this Ampharos. And then we can start using our Mareep to start up another line of Ampharos. And we can definitely use our Ordinary Rod to get those Ampharos line back into the deck, which helps us to have more cards in the deck to evolve another Ampharos. So our opponent's attack, of course, allows them to choose 3 cards and put them in their hand. Okay, we got another Cradily. We'll just use Sonia. Nope, not that. We want energy. So 2 energies. Using Sonia. And we're just shuffle Mareep and Ampharos. And 2. Oh, okay, we only have 1 lightning card. We'll just shuffle those back. And we'll just Dazzle Blast this tag team. So with 1 more attack, we should be able to knock it out. So none of their other bench Pokemon has any energy. So unless they have a welder, they would be able to attack us in the next turn. But right now, we're good. Unless they switch out into those Heatran GX, then it'll get fully energized and just knock out our Ampharos. But let's see what our opponent has in their hand. See what they're gonna do in their turn. Okay, so they are gonna welder. Alright, so they're energizing the other Charizard Braixen. So it's fully energized now. They have the Giant Hearth to replace our Pokemon Lab, which we don't really need. And they try to attack and just hurt themselves. They have 60 HP left. Dazzle Blast won't be able to knock it out. So we will have to attach another energy. And we have this Mareep ready on the bench. We'll just knock it out. We're just gonna stall with Jirachi. That will just give them one prize card anyway. It's good that we got a Flaaffy on our prize card, so we can evolve this Mareep into Flaaffy. We should still have one rare candy in our deck, so we can even just rare candy Mareep if we have both the rare candy and an Ampharos on our hand. So even if they knock out this Ampharos, I'm gonna just stall with Jirachi. I think that's the best option we have. Okay, they're gonna welder again. They're readying their Heatran. Gonna use Brilliant Flare. Knocks out our Ampharos. Now they're looking for 3 cards in their deck. So with this tag team, actually, the effect of the attack, where they look for the 3 cards, it's interesting how they don't have to show their opponents, so they can just get 3 cards, and like us right now, we don't really know what they got from their deck. But we'll just Stellar Wish with this Jirachi. It's good we have Yell Horn. Our Mareep is not ready yet, so we'll definitely gonna our Ampharos is not ready yet, so we'll definitely use this Yell Horn to lock our opponent in place in the active. And here Jirachi, now that it's not asleep, we had an energy on it, we just retreat it, use the other Jirachi, and now we can get another trainer card. So I think we're just gonna use Skyla here, so we can get we should have another Evo Incense in the deck and be able to, and we have Ampharos, we have plenty. We can definitely use that to evolve into Ampharos in our next turn. And we'll just pass here. Even if they knock out our Jirachi, we'll have our attacker ready and chip away at this Charizard Braixen tag team. I think we're doing pretty good with this one. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah. So let's see. So our opponent puts another energy on the Heatran, Cynthia, and Caitlyn. Did they have any other trainer? No. All they have is Welder and stuff. I'm amazed. Oh. So they do succeed in that attack. So that's one of the things with this deck. Again, our opponent has 50% chance of succeeding. And if they do, if they succeed a lot, then obviously we're just going to end up losing. Because we're gonna run out of Ampharos. So that attack succeeded. Our Jirachi is now knocked out, and our opponent again is looking for 3 cards in their deck. And now we're gonna use our evolved Ampharos, and let's Marnie here. Hopefully we get another energy. good. And we're just gonna put one Mareep in the bench, and we're gonna Electro Ball, hitting for 130. All right, so I think we're doing pretty good so far. We just need a few more hits with this tag team. We should be good. Just need 3 cards. Once we knock this one out, we should be able to win this game. I'm surprised that they don't have any. Okay, so again, they tried to. Okay, so our opponent just gives up. They know they were gonna just get knocked out by our Ampharos. And that's a showcase for the new Ampharos from the Darkness Ablaze set. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to press the like button. Also consider subscribing for more contents like these. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.